All right, Shane, next game on the docket here. We're getting into the ranked matchups. Mississippi State at number 17 Auburn. Auburn Tigers favored by 5.5. The over-unders, 50 total points. And this is a noon Eastern, 11 o'clock Central game on ESPN right after College Game Day. Who do you like in the matchup?
Neither one of them, Mike. Can I just do that and just move on to the next one? Because I've got no confidence in this game. In fact, I'm going to flip-flop my score here, and I'm going to tell you why here in a second, Mike. Here's two programs that are disappointed.
Right.
I think there was really high expectations with Mississippi State coming in. You could feel the energy with the Auburn Tigers until last week. They're still there. I think they should still be happy with the product they've put on the field. But you got to be true to yourself and know that these guys are a little upset coming into this game. So it feels more like who rebounds the quickest. And the problem in this game, Mike, is we got two teams that don't show excellent history in rebounding. So I like what Mississippi State has been doing on defense. So when I get into a game like this, I think about, okay, what's their strongest? Auburn does well when they can run the ball, but the problem is Mississippi State knows how to slow it down and sometimes stop it. Which Bo Nix shows up? You know what I'm saying? Is this one of those games that, again, Rogers is going to have 50 completions to win? Is this one that's going to come down to a field goal kick and Mississippi State lose yet again? The reason that I flipped this score, Mike, because originally coming into this, I had Mississippi State winning. But when the facts are in the pudding, man, when it comes down to crunch time, when it comes down to a final possession, Mississippi State keeps finding ways to lose. They've done it all season long. Now, there's been some really good games in there. Don't get me wrong. I still think that this is a top 20 ball club. But we're in the Plains. I think home field advantage is going to be a factor. And I think I'm guessing that the good Bo Nix shows up. So, like I said, had Mississippi State win this thing, but I got to flip it around. So, give me Auburn Tigers 27, Mississippi State 24. That means, let's see. Well, Mississippi State with the points. There's that. But I think, I'm sorry, Mike, I got no confidence in the Bulldogs right now. I've really got no confidence in either one of these teams. But I've seen in the last few games that, hey, man, when they get this running game going, and Bo's not having to have all that weight on his shoulders, he's able to get some confidence, and they can win this thing. I know, man. I still think the Alabama game is going to be a big game. I'm still a believer of Auburn Tigers right now, and I'm just not Mississippi State.
Well, how about this stat? Shane, Auburn's not scored an offensive touchdown in 6 quarters. So,
I'm flipping it around. That's right. That's a good point. Mississippi State.
But here's another one. Mississippi State, like you said, missed 4 field goals last week. They make one of those. It's a tie game. Hell, they make 2 of them. They win the ball game. They had that thing won. Arkansas marched down the field with the game-winning touchdown and 2-point conversion in the closing minutes. But, Mississippi State's offense, finally, we've been waiting, Shane. They finally have an offense now to go with Zach Arnett's defense that continues to be, one of the, I would say, toughest units in the league, considering the talent they've got to work with. So, can Tank Bigsby, Sean Shivers, and Jarquez Hunter, can they run on this Mississippi State defense? They certainly allowed Arkansas to run last week. That's given me some hesitation there. The bad Bo, whatever you want to call it, he showed up last week. Mississippi State has shown they can win on the road. They've won at Kyle Field. Auburn showed usually they're pretty tough at home, but they lost to Georgia at home. This one's a nooner. If it was in the evening, I'd have a lot more confidence in the Auburn Tigers. I just rewatched the A&M Auburn game. It made my eyes bleed about how poorly Auburn played on offense. But, again, this is a coin flip game to me, Shane. Mississippi State, number 1 pass offense in the SEC. Auburn, number 9 pass defense in the SEC. I'm going with the Bulldogs, though, Shane. Mississippi State goes on the road, pulls the upset, 28-17. 27. And I'm about as confident as you are in this one.
Did you switch it because I went the other way?
No, sir, no.
I really did, man. All week, I was convinced that Mississippi State was going to win this game, but part of it is the noon factor.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. Just those early boring games. It's just sometimes it takes a little bit for the Pirate and the boys to get going, and if they can get Tank going, man. If Bo can get his legs going, he doesn't have to make miraculous throws out there. They just need some movement on offense. They played a hell of a game on defense last week. I think that's the story, is how good Auburn's defense is turning in to be. But yeah, I don't know.
But it's a night and day different challenge what they're going to be asked to do this Saturday, going from A&M's ground and pound to Mississippi State throwing all over the yard. You know what?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Look how well they did with Lane Kiffin and company. So I don't know. I think this thing could go either way, and I think if we sat here talking about it long enough, we'd both flip our scores again. Let's just say it. It's going to be a great game. I think it's a shame that it is at noon. This is one of those I think should have been played later in the day so more people could enjoy it.